The 13th NCPEDP-Mphasis Universal Design Awards 2022 was organized in New Delhi in an attempt to recognize the individuals and organizations who have been doing exemplary work towards the cause of accessibility, thus ensuring a life of equality, dignity for people with disabilities. It was an effort to acknowledge and celebrate the contribution of individuals and organizations who have offered innovative and accessible options in different fields such as learning, technology, infrastructure, and so on. The proceedings of the day began with the welcome address by Arman Ali, Executive Director, NCPEDP.
In the Mann Ki Baat, the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji announced with pride, for the first time in the country, the sign language was introduced as a subject of academic curriculum. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is not just an announcement, but a loud recognition of the need to magnify the feeble voice of the disabled people in the country. And it is in that context that we at NCPEDP and Mphasis organize this award year on year to amplify the voices of the change makers who are taking forward the issue and the cause of accessibility and universal design. I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to each one of you who are present here and all those who are our viewers on CNN and IBN, that disability needs your support. Disability needs support from everyone, every single individual who are present in this hall here and those who are viewers on the platform. People with disability cannot do without all of us. NCPEDP needs your support. NCPEDP needs your support to bring together people and work towards an accessible environment where nobody is left behind. I would like to once again congratulate all the awardees who are here today, and I look forward to this exciting evening with all of you.
The keynote address was delivered by Deepa Nagaraj, Head, Global Communication at Mphasis.
Mphasis is extremely proud to be associated with NCPEDP and with all of you, right, for all these number of years. We've been working with NCPEDP for over a decade now, right? And there's one thing as a corporate to be able to provide CSR funds, right? But that's just the beginning of it all. This entire sector is about accessibility. It's not about disability. I mean, none of us are perfect, right? Our imperfections make us who we are. That's what Stephen Hawking said, not me, right? But considering that, how do you take the cause of accessibility for inclusion? You'll hear from some of the award winners as well. They've been fantastic stories where they've gotten access to education, to great scores, right? But there's no inclusion in the society. In the last 10 years, Mphasis has probably provided over 50 crores for accessibility needs. We've worked with various different organizations on accessibility, but the most important thing is inclusion, right? We hire at least about 100 people with disabilities every year, right? And just hiring is not the end of it, right? How do you make sure the entire facility is accessible for people with visual disabilities? Do you have gender-neutral washrooms? Do you have access for wheelchair everywhere? Make that a seamless effort, right? Not an afterthought for everything. And it's also part of everything that we do. Our supply chain mandates accessibility for all. While Arman had his appeal, my appeal to all of you is don't think about accessibility as an afterthought. Make this part of your culture. Imbibe this into everything that you do. And please be ambassadors of accessibility, not just disability. Thank you.
The awards were divided into 3 categories, Category A, B and C, and were handed over by a team of esteemed dignitaries. Pradeep Gupta, Trustee, NCPEDP and Jury Chair. Subodh Sachan, Chief Innovation Officer, STPI Next and Director, STPI HQ. Dr. Sapna Poti, Director, Strategic Alliances and Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. And Deepa Nagaraj, Head, Global Communications at Mphasis. In Category A awards for person with disabilities, the first recipient was Vidya Y from Karnataka for her contribution in making STEM education accessible to visually impaired students. The next recipient was Lalit Kumar from Delhi. Lalit is credited with establishing the disability-centric literary movement in Hindi and other languages. Plus, his contribution in enhancing the accessibility of Indian languages text materials for persons with blindness and low vision. Saundarya Kumar Pradhan from Odisha was the next recipient in this category. Saundarya has developed a website that makes chess accessible for blind chess players. He has won several international accolades in para-chess championships. Moving on, in the Category B awards for working professionals, the first recipient was Teresa Anthony Alapath from Chennai. Teresa works to spread awareness on the importance of accessible imagery that children's stories should hold in the storybooks. Robin Tommy from Kerala was the next recipient in this category, who was recognized for his contribution in devising technology-based experiences for neurodivergent citizens, thereby advocating inclusion in the workspace.
Nilesh Panchal from Gujarat. Working as a special teacher and coordinator at Navjeevan Training Center since its inception in 1993, Navjeevan Training Center is a day school where mentally and physically disabled individuals and children with autism and cerebral palsy are given education, training, and rehabilitation services. Unfortunately, he's not able to join us, so we will probably send his award to him. But let's still have a round of applause for Nilesh Panchal.
Under Category B, the special jury recognition went to Joe John George from Kerala, who received this award for authoring a handbook on disability and disaster risk reduction and developing a toolkit for training the persons with the disabilities on disaster survival skills and first aid during emergencies. Diana Vincent from Kerala received the special jury recognition for her exemplary work towards getting children with disabilities admitted in government schools of Karnataka without discrimination. G. Thiraviam received this award on Diana's behalf.
May I now request Mr. Saundarya Kumar Pradhan to deliver an acceptance speech on behalf of Category A and Category B awardees.
At the outset, let me congratulate the winners of Universal Design Award 2022, NCPEDP, in Category A and B. Ms. Vidya Y, Mr. Lalit Kumar, Ms. Teresa Alabat, Mr. Robin Tommy, Mr. Nilesh Panchal, Mr. Joe John George, if I may say so, a very nice name, Ms. Diana Vincent, ladies and gentlemen. I feel extremely privileged to speak at this august gathering. I think life will always throw at us adversities. It is up to us to decide if we take the adversities as challenges or as a debilitating situation. I am a blind person. I'm not able to see. I use electronic devices using screen reading software that convert text into speech. Now, I'm very bad with names, so I was using my phone to refer to the names of distinguished winners instead of pen and paper that a person would generally do. All of you amazing people, winners of the award, have proven that very slight modification to the way we work can make the world a better place for everybody.
I'm really happy to get the NCPED-Mphasis Universal Design Awards, that too being in the 13th version of it. So one of the most important thing or the carry away from this award is the amplification of the message that what we are doing specifically for the neurodivergent society, autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome. So the technology that we have been developing, the empowerment that we have been trying to do for them, and also the skilling through multiple initiatives, including the government of Kerala, and bringing in change in their life through employment.
This award is a recognition to the Kerala State Disaster Management Authority to work even more and more to train each and every person. We have around 800,000 persons with disabilities residing in the state, and this has to reach each and every person so that we leave no one behind from being prepared to face these disasters.
Receiving this award has been amazing. What we do at Chetna is we create accessible materials for children with disabilities. Often their lives revolve around having to be fixed, but we focus on bringing fun into their lives in terms of leisure, and so we create products and storybooks that develop concepts and language.
The Category C awards for companies and organizations saw Kerala School of the Blind winning for being one of the first aided special schools in Kerala for visually impaired students. It aims to create an inclusive learning environment for children with visual impairment. The Accenture Solutions from Karnataka was conferred the award for focusing both on accessibility and development at their workspaces and ensuring seamless integration of persons with disabilities into mainstream work environment. Neo Motion Assistive Solutions from Chennai won the award for inventing a personalized wheelchair that can enable the users to go out independently for education, work, etc. The Department of Social Welfare, Women and Child Development Chandigarh Administration was next to be recognized for implementing various social security and welfare schemes for persons with disabilities. The Special Jury Award in this category went to Indian Spinal Injuries Centre from Delhi. ISIC is a team of acclaimed spine surgeons who provides cutting-edge medical technology for patients to lead a productive and self-reliant life. They strive to create an inclusive environment and ensure a self-reliant lifestyle for wheelchair users.
Thank you to NCPEDP and Mphasis for this wonderful award. It is indeed a matter of great honor. I'd also like to congratulate the other winners in the company category for the incredible work that they are doing. So Neo Motion Assistive Solutions Chennai, the Department of Social Welfare, Women and Child Development Chandigarh Administration, Kerala School for the Blind, and the Indian Spinal Injury Centre, Delhi. Accessibility and universal design are critical components and foundation elements of an organization's business strategy. Businesses that will thrive in the future are those that recognize that meeting the needs of diverse populations is key to their business model today. However, a lot of organizations fail to recognize this value that persons with disabilities could bring to their organizations or businesses. Enabling accessibility for the 1 billion PWDs in the world will not only empower persons with disabilities, but will also create several business benefits. Our research has shown that disability champion organizations have higher revenues, net income, and economic profit margins. This can be achieved through the creation of a culture of inclusive design.
The Javed Abidi Public Policy Awards went to Mary Barua from Delhi for pioneering autism movement in India.
We need to create a visually structured and inclusive environment for autistic people so that they can flourish. But most importantly, in all of this is to impact policy, because that is the only way that you can have the greatest reach. So that has been really our focus all these years. And the award is in a way recognizes that the need for accessibility is not limited to obvious visible disabilities, but that even encompasses the different people who are neurologically different, and in fact encompasses all humans. All of us need accessibility at some level. We believe that this recognition will help to further shift the focus from the aversive and disrespectful and often dehumanizing approaches that autistic people are commonly subjected to everywhere, and which comes from a place of unconscious bias of ableism. And to make the shift from that to one where we embrace neurodiversity so that they are able to function, learn, grow, and indeed flourish in the community in positive and inclusive ways. This in turn will help not just the autistic community, but the wider community around them. Thank you so much, NCPEDP-Mphasis, everybody. Thank you.
Moving on to the release of the manual called Reasonable Accommodation at Workplaces. The Rights of Person with Disabilities Act 2016 requires employers to provide reasonable accommodation to people with disabilities. This law states that denying a reasonable accommodation to persons with disability would be considered as discrimination and hence liable to legal action. To this effect, NCPEDP has developed a manual on reasonable accommodation at workplaces with the support of Mphasis. The panel discussion titled Reimagining Accessibility, Our Roles and Vision for the Future deliberated on various steering initiatives undertaken to create a more diverse and inclusive workforce in the country, and how the universal designs have to be central to almost everything.
People with disabilities in India, like 70% of them do not have access to assistive devices or technology. What do you think are the measures that we need to adopt as a country to not only provide solution to the people in our country, but also look at ourselves as a solution provider for the globe?
Technology which can actually be a great leveler and can actually reduce the gap. Right now it has resulted in increasing the gap between the abled and the disabled. And therefore, I think the focus should now be in terms of creating an ecosystem so that these issues can be addressed in a very, very robust manner and can make fundamental differences to the lives of the disabled.
The question is around what are the challenges. I think on this side, what I am increasingly seeing is challenges around skilling, challenges around sourcing. I think on this side of the industry, the problem the industry is facing is where do they source the right set of people. The information which is available in this room, as rightly Pradeep ji mentioned, is about creating that ecosystem. If this information reaches the wider set, I think very clearly people are ready. We want to do, it's not about empathy. It's not about sympathy. It is clearly about empathy.
Now, the challenge is that what have we done in accessibility? In accessibility, we are creating wheelchair-friendly screens for you. That's where we can be very confident. So you would probably find that in our app. You will probably find that in our, information about where and how you can be seated. But moving, there is a big ecosystem you need to create, not only creating accessibility, but actually creating shows. And I'm sure that in the next year, we will be getting the Universal Design Award, the Mphasis Universal Design Award from you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, all of you, for being a part of this great event, making it very successful, and good night.